Yeah.
All right, we're good.
What is this?
It's a sponge dauber.
Is this new?
Hmm?
Is this new?
No.
How long have you had this?
Hi, Julie. Morning, everybody. I'm going to see if I can get on here and share this. Ooh, oopsie. Let's see. How's everybody doing today? Hey, Tammy. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. All right. I'm trying to see if I can find one of my old posts, but good morning, ladies. How are you? We're a little discombobulated today. Sorry we're a few minutes late. How's everybody doing? Miriam, Diane, nice to see you. Hi, Janet. All right, I'm going to put it on this one. That way maybe it'll tell some people we're live. We'll see. So, let me turn the volume down here so I can see my comments. Okay, so I have my little assistant with me today. This will be one of her, not the last, but one of the last ones because she'll be going back to school soon. Woohoo! But we have some cool swaps to share with you. This is these are from the swap that I did with Team Stamp It. Thanks for the shares. And these are some ideas for that absolutely beautiful Blended Seasons bundle. So I got some great ones with Christmas card style. This one I really love. This one was created by Kim McPeak. And this is a gorgeous one. You probably saw on Tammy's feed. I love this. Talk about out of the box way to use it. I love the white on white and the splatters in the background. Gorgeous card. This one is from, oh my goodness, I can't find her name on there. Hold on, let me see. I have to at least give her credit because it's a beautiful card. Hi, Donna. Hi, Karen. Good morning, Adrian. This is made by Tina Wardell. I thought that's who it was. Beautiful card. So very pretty. Soft and pretty. And we have another beautiful Christmas card. This uses some of the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper. This is made by Melissa Tubb. Pretty card. And this also uses the shaded spruce. Doesn't it look great? The shaded spruce. Love that. This one I thought was really pretty as well because the way this is from Stampin' Amanda. And hold on one sec. I want to show you this was really, really pretty. It's got these layers here, if you can see, and it's like that mirrored layer. It's so pretty. It's really like a nice thick card. It's really, really pretty. And she did this, I believe, with watercolor pencils.
That is really
beautiful, isn't it? Amanda Edens created this one. It's a beautiful card. You just got yours yesterday. Have you used it yet, Donna? I made a really great sample. I should have kept one, and I think I did, but I think I gave it to somebody already. But it was really fun to color. And this one, she used it, and she actually embossed it in the background there, if you can see. Let me take this out. I should have taken these out ahead of time. Sorry for not doing that. This is from Sue Kempler. Certainly, thank you. Kempler Miller. And what she did was she did an embossed layer, and then she cut a layer and layered them on top of each other, and then added some Wink of Stella to the yellow there. So it actually looks like the gold Wink of Stella that we used to have. So that was really, really pretty. So that's another kind of all occasions birthday card. And this one, Linda Cullen did this one. She always does beautiful cards. This is one, and this is a really good way of showing off that Subtles embossing folder, which is really beautiful. And then she laid in probably all the pieces that she cut out. So I actually have this here because I was doing a project with it. And this little leaf comes with it. So what you could do with this leaf is you could either use it with the embossing mat and you can emboss it, or you could cut it out. So she probably cut out a whole bunch of different layers and layered them all differently. Like some of them probably were crushed curry and then just layered the pieces in. But how cool an idea is that? I love that. Linda always comes up with very creative cards. So beautiful card. And then we have another one here. Another Christmas card. So pretty. And I love this nice designer series paper, and then the ribbon. I mean, this is like better than a Hallmark card. I just want you to know, Karen Monger, you hit this one out of the park, because this has some amazing detail to it, and it's very tight and crisp, which is sometimes hard to get with ribbon, but she wowed these. These cards are all standard card size, so they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So they're just, some of them are different directions, so they're exactly the same, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So just a half sheet of cardstock, just depending on which way you do it. So that would be that way, or if you had one that was opening top size, like this one, for example. Same thing again, just a half sheet of cardstock, and this one opens this way. So if you can imagine, if you had your cardstock, these were the same color, that would be one sheet. And if you had 2 of these, it would be one sheet. So very, very gorgeous cards. I was very happy to be able to participate in this card swap. It's funny because a lot of times when you do these card swaps, it's hard sometimes to think outside the box. I don't know if that ever happens for you guys or not, but it's hard to think outside the box. Like, well, what are you going to do? And it's amazing to find, I mean, look at these cards. They are very similar. 2 completely different people designed these, probably from 2 different parts of the United States, I would bet. Texas, and I'm not sure where Karen is. Pennsylvania, it looks like, 717. And completely different ideas, but it's really cool. And then you have someone who didn't use any of that part at all, who just used this little cutout piece. Someone who made this. I mean, it's gorgeous. And then I ended up going with the flower, so mine was very similar to the flower theme. And then you also have the fall leaf. So totally,
my favorite.
this is your favorite? Yeah, probably because it reminds you of soccer season, right?
Yeah, and also the...
And that one, the color is really pretty.
I do now do spring soccer,
That's
too.
true. You have spring soccer and fall soccer. All right,
And,
so what we're...
And winter soccer.
And winter soccer. So you have 4 season soccer is what you're saying.
No, I don't have 4 seasons. 3 seasons.
3 seasons? Okay. No summer. You're playing now.
But that's just practice.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did have a tournament.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to make today... I didn't actually finish this yet because I wanted to try to show you how to finish the inside of it. And I'm also going to be honest with you. I just made this like 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, not
Go
even.
Texas. Look at you, Cindy Clark. That's right, girl. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Like, she made this
I made this like 5 minutes ago. I watched this video and I thought this would be really cute for like a back to school gift that you could put like a gift card in, which I think... like I had a gift card here, and now of course I don't know what the heck I did with it. Oh, grab me that Hershey card. That Hershey Lodge card right there. We do go to Hershey Park around here, so I have a Hershey gift card that'll definitely fit in there. But you could give this to like a teacher, and you could fill it up with like some Ready Shreddy, or you could make your own Ready Shreddy. And you're glad your son didn't like soccer. Yes, it is something. And it will fit in long ways. And you could make these bigger if you wanted to. It just kind of depends on what you want. But what she did was, she actually used the reverse side of the DSP. And I got to tell you, I just made these measurements up as I went along because it was a UK video. So it was in centimeters. And, you know, us in the United States, we think everything's in inches. So it was a little bit of an issue to try to convert it, but I'm going to show you how to do it. It was really simple, and she said you could make these bigger if you wanted to, but I just made the mini one because I thought it'd be cool to fit the gift card in. And then what she did was, yeah, you can make a ton of these because it used a 6x6 piece of paper. So this is one 6x6, so you could make a whole boatload of these.
You can make like 1,000.
1,000, right, if you had that much time and glue. But a couple things I thought of. So she glued these little things in the bottom. We actually used tear and tape to hold it together, but I'm going to put some glue in here. So I just wanted to show you guys that when I did it.
Do that?
I'm going to do it with the fine tip glue pen just because it might be a little easier to get in there. So I want to show you that part first. So it's going to kind of be like backwardsy. Push them? Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to just put, so we know this is really, really tiny glue. So we're just going to put just a little bit. You don't want to put too much because we don't want the whole thing to get stuck. And I think some came out. We're going to put a little bit in here. That's good. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is you could either do this. Go ahead and set that down. You could either do this with your finger. So basically this is just holding the inside of it sealed in case you were to put something like loose in here. And then that's it. So this is going to seal up your bottom part there. So then you would just do the same on this side. So can you put a little bit of glue on, just a little bit on that one? I'm going to do that here so they can see what we're doing. Just a teeny, that's plenty. And then same on this one, just a teeny bit. Okay. And then we're going to just press this. So all you're doing is just pressing this. I don't know if any glue came out on that one.
Yeah,
Right.
me neither. I just heard scratching.
Yeah, let me try. Let me see 1 sec. I just want to see if I can. There we go. Sometimes if this, oh, no, that definitely was a lot. So you're just going to press this. You could also do this too with the multi-purpose glue. Because I like that stuff. It makes things easier to move around. But then all you're doing is basically sealing up the bottom. So this is really easy. And let me just put the tip on this, because if not, I'll never be able to get it on. Anyone who is in the medical field or has any slight remote access to the medical field, just in case, I'm going to just show this for 1 second if I can get it off. Inside this, you can actually unscrew this part here. It's just a needle. So if you ever were to not be able to get it out, what you do is you just grab like one of those grippy things and you just can run this underwater. Just pull out the goop. You could run it underwater and it would clear out the glue for you. And then you just screw this back on. This is just a blunt tip needle. And then you put this. This is easier to put on when the whole thing is screwed on. You just screw this part back on. And then that'll put that blunt tip up there. And then you just put your, I kind of find it better. Dawn Griffith did this a while ago. If you put your finger up against it, except if you're under pressure, then you can't do anything. Put your finger up against it. You can get it to go. I'm making a fool of myself as usual. Get it to go back in. I promise. You saw it was in. There you go. You can get it to go back in a little bit easier. But another thing you can do with this glue, if you have a lot of it, and maybe, Linda, I didn't even make it yet. I was just showing a little tip in the beginning. Sorry, you didn't miss anything yet. If you wanted to do something where you did like a little bit of decoration, like say you were making a card and you want to make raindrops, you could actually take like a tiny drop, and I would only say one, start out with one, but you could put like a tiny drop of Pool Party or Balmy Blue, and you could tint it, and then you could add drops that look like raindrops. So you can dye this if you wanted to. So that's just, a thought, if that's something else you wanted to do to be able to decorate with. Patience. Exactly. Patience. So the other thing I'm going to do is, this one is rather big, so you probably wouldn't want to use this one. But yeah, this is really big. But you can punch this with a hole punch, and mine's going to be really big, so you don't want to do this. Can I punch it? Oh my god.
You are crazy.
I'm having one of those days. I probably should have punched this before I did. Before I put it together. Almost. No. Anyway, you're going to want to punch a hole in this with like, if you still have a crocodile. I know Stampin' Up used to make those. That's where you can make all different kinds of holes. Cool. You could punch holes in this. So I'm obviously not going to do this. I'm fun to watch. Thanks. I appreciate that, especially when I'm making a regular fool of myself. So you could punch a hole in this with your punch. And then what she did was she added these with brads. Just like that. Onto the front of it. So cool. But what I'm going to do is, because my hole punch is asking for a little bit more than it should. And we do have brads again in the catalog, which are pretty awesome. So just in case you didn't see those in there, I'm just going to add this in with glue. You could also, if you still have your hands on the stapler, you could put it with staples too if you wanted to. Staples. So mini hole punch is ideal if you have the brads. You could use the stapler if you still have staples, which a lot of people do have this stapler. You just have to get refills for it. I know, I never got a crocodile, Donna. I think that was there like long before.
Oh, you don't have one?
No, I don't. I was in Stampin' Up. And I'm pretty sure that the big box stores do carry that. But anyway, so let me show you how to make this. Again, this is one sheet of paper. It was pretty simple. And we'll decide what to do. What do you want to do with this? What do you want to make? We can make it in wood. You could even make this for like a guy if you wanted to. You could use wood paper. We could use the tropical paper. What do you want to use? You have to pick. Or we could use a flower. Like this that we had. What do you want to do?
Oh, I want this.
Okay, which one? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to use this is from Petal Promenade. I'm sorry, Garden Impressions. Garden Impressions. You could use any designer series paper though. So all you're going to do is you're going to trim it down to 6x6. Okay, because this is just one piece of 6x6. So if you had like a piece of animal Expedition Designer Series paper left and you didn't know what to do with it? It punches like butter. Listen to you, like butter. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to explain this the best I can, and I'm going to try to give you the measurements because, again, I had to kind of modify it. So she had you mark it at 1 centimeter, which is like 0.38 inches or something. So to me, it was a little confusing. So what I kind of did was I'm going to show you what I did, and we'll go from there. So I marked this at, and I'm trying to think. So if we have a quarter, we would have 1, 2, 3. It's probably 7/8. So I'm going to score it, not cutting. So score it 7/8. Okay, and then I scored it again at,
you can barely even see that score.
16s, so 16, 15, 14. 14. So 14/16. I know that sounds ridiculous. You're going to cut this one. I apologize. So go ahead and cut that. So roll that one up and then roll this one past. All right, so we have one flap here, and we're going to do the same thing again. Okay, so once again, we're going to score it. I believe that's 7/8. And I will go through and actually do the measurements for this. Go ahead up. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go with, hold on one sec. We're going to go with, where was that? I think that's 13/16. Watch your head, you're in the picture. And then cut. Okay, so these two are going to be your handles. So you just have to decide which you want to use, okay? So then you're going to take your rectangle that's left, and you're going to get your bone folder. You're going to fold it in half. So just watch out for 1 sec. We're going to need, don't put your trimmer away yet because you're going to need it. So you're going to fold it in half. And again, I did kind of eyeball this, so bear with me. It's not exact measurements. You don't really need to fold this one with this yet, but keep your bone folder handy. So then you're going to take your trimmer again. Make sure you don't cut because then you got to start over. So you're going to take the folded end and you're going to put it in right back where you were. So that's at like 7/8. Okay, press it down and score it and go twice. One more. Okay. Ooh, so you got to be careful because you did a half score. So we have a score here. And then there's one of two things you can do. If you want your bag to be a little bit bigger, you can just score the bottom. But if you want to have this little layer that folds over, you can score the top. So again, this is just personal preference. So how about, since this one's a little smaller, we won't score this on the top so you guys can see just the size difference, okay? So what we're going to do now, I'm going to move this out of the way because we're done with the trimmer. So now you're going to make this like an accordion, and it is a little hard to see these score lines because this paper is quite busy. Let me see.
You can feel them though.
Yeah, let me just score this just one more time, just to be sure. Right there. And just give it a press. All right. So you're going to fold in, and we're going to kind of do this opposite. I just do it this way so it gets a good bend. So this one's going to go in, and then these two, oops, sorry, wrong way, are going to go out. Okay, so you have like a little M. A very tall M. Now's when you want to definitely use your bone folder and just make sure you reinforce the creases. What's wrong? You didn't get the bone fold? Did you want to? You didn't tell me. I told you could decorate. You got to pick out some ribbon to decorate this. And what do we want it to say? Like welcome, thank you, something like that. We're going to take our paper snips and we're going to trim in just a little bit. Maybe like 1/4 inch on all three. You'll see. Okay, and we're going to do it on the other side. Same thing again, like a 1/4 inch. Yeah, it's not very much. Okay, so now you see you have your, and then you just have to decide which one you want to face in or out. So we're just going to fold these in like that, and we're going to fold these in like that. And be patient with me because, again, this is the second one I've made.
I'm not patient.
So I'm trying to remember which way I did it. So whatever you want facing out, you want the flaps to be opposite. So this is going to be the outside. So I kind of did it backwards of how she did it. So we're going to put adhesive here and here. And if you wanted to have the over flap, you would put it all the way up to the over part, okay? One other little thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just do just a teeny little trim on each of these, just so it's like a tiniest miter cut, just to make it kind of fold. No, they're folded up, fold together a little smoother. Okay, so what I'm going to do, instead of using what I did the first time, which was tear and tape, I'm going to use the Tombow liquid glue, because that way we can move it a little bit. Yes, you can. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to just show you, I'm not putting it there. You're going to put a little bit of glue right here, just like back and forth, okay? So you don't have to squeeze it real hard, because it'll come out super goopy. So right here to the top, but stay close to the edge. You squeeze just a little bit. All right, now go back. And a little bit closer up here. You got it. You do have to squeeze it. There you go. Okay, and now put a little bit more on this side too. So do the same thing, just don't put your hand in it over here. Hot in Washington State. Okay, you didn't miss anything, Tina. We're just starting in a crazy spot here. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to fold this in. And I will tell you, it is a little bit easier to get it in place if you have the flap, because it kind of holds it as a layer. But all you're going to do is you're going to just take this, got to kind of be like Gumby and bend, and you're going to just bend it in. And remember, when you have your liquid glue, you do have to hold it for a second. But this also kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility versus using either tear and tape or snail, because you know those, once you put them together, they're kind of are where they are. So we're going to just put this here. Just like that, and then you still have your little flaps in there. And then I'm just gonna smear this a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing with this side. We're going to, it is a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. But once you get it together, it does stay.
It does.
And if you are more concerned with the fact of whether it is or isn't gonna stay, you could also put down a strip of tear and tape. And then you could put the Tombow liquid glue on top of it, because it kind of gives it that little mobile bit. So you could do that if you're concerned with whether or not it's going to stay. But the Tombow, the liquid glue, once you stick it is pretty good with staying. So then we're going to just squeeze these together, kind of to make our bag a little bit more. And you do want to make sure that you get your adhesive all the way to the end. That way your bag doesn't stick up. And press. I love it too. That mono glue is so great because you can move stuff. I really think, honestly, it is my favorite glue. I really do really like the tear and tape. I used to like that red tape that we had, but that red tape was even worse with the tear and tape. That if you didn't get it where you wanted it, that was the end of the story. Yeah. All right, now I'm going to use my, oopsie, I undid that one. I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen.
It takes like
one more time.
What can I do?
And we're going to just put some glue on these two inside flaps here. Okay, hold on one sec. You hold that. Let me just make sure these are real bent in. So we're going to put some glue on here. You could probably put this glue on ahead of time if you wanted it.
This is like water.
Yeah, it is. It's very thin. So come in here. That way they can see what we're doing. So go ahead and put it in. Squeeze. Oh, that's a lot. Squeeze. Just a little. That's good. She's extra gluey today. And then hold on, you're going to just
extra glue.
Hold on. Put this down for a second. We're going to just press this in. I don't want you poking the eye. I just don't want to lose all that glue. So you're just going to press this in to seal your bag. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here, where you got to stay in here if you're going to stay with it. We're going to put some glue here. Okay, that's good. And here. That's good, definitely. All right, perfect. And then same thing again, we're just going to press this in. It's very sticky, so you're definitely going to have to wash your fingers. And press this in. Okay, so then you're sealed. So basically now, you can, so you can see the size difference. So if you have the little flap folded over, which kind of, I like it better because it kind of gives it a more finished look. But if you wanted it to be taller without having to use a bigger piece of paper, you just don't do the top flap. Or you could also get out any size paper, really, and you could make yourself strips from it. So, okay, can you put it back together now? All right, before we finish, I'm going to also do the flaps. And I thought it was kind of neat to do the flaps in the contrasting colors. So we'll do the flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take this piece that we snipped off. And I did not measure correctly on this one, so there's a tiny bit of an overlay there. We're going to bend it in half. just like this. And this is definitely a good tip. So again, I will put measurements up on the blog for this. Kind of once I get them very well ironed out, because I'm going to have to go back and actually measure these correctly. But what you want to do is you definitely want to hit these with your bone folder. And then another thing to do is just curl them a little bit, because that way they'll bend easier when you want to put them together. Okay, so let me put this one. Okay, hold on, almost there. So we're going to take this, and then we're just going to kind of bend it. You can do it with your fingers too if you don't have your bone folder, but you definitely want to have a bone folder handy. Okay, so then now that we have it shaped, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, you could either use your Tombow liquid glue again. So if you're going to punch a hole, you don't want to go to the end, okay, because you don't want to mess up your punch with glue. But I'm going to just adhere mine on, so I'm going to press this together. And you probably, if you wanted it to be a little bigger, you probably could just get away with doing these little strips, but I think this makes it a little sturdier, having the folded in half one. And we're going to do the same thing on this. I'm just going to open this back up. And you can see, good job, you can open this back up. And it is, once you use the bone folder, it definitely does keep its shape very well. So once again, I'm going to do this. Press. I'm going to press. That has to go in that little hole. Press this really hard. So there you go. So you have these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on with the Tombow
This is going to be impossible.
Liquid glue. You could also, if you didn't want them to show, you could put them on the inside too. Just depends on your personal preference. But let me see.
I did it. Oh, dang.
And I want to have them so the seam, the part that's cut, is on the inside. So I'm going to put it on like this. And what you could probably do with these is you probably could do tear and tape, or even if you still had some fast fuse, because that's really, really sticky. You could definitely use either of these. I'm going to use tear and tape just because I think that'll be a good idea. So I'm going to just take off some pieces of tear and tape. Measurements, please. I know. Well, I have to do a little converting, because this was a project that I did put on the link in the bio there. That was, brad them on would be really cute, Tina, if you have either a crocodile or a better punch. My punch was way too big. That would be a super idea. And that's actually how she did it. I believe her name was BB Cameron. She's from the UK. She's a UK demonstrator. Hers were on with brads. But I don't have the appropriate punch for the brad.
I got it.
Okay, good job. You got that cap on. So I'm going to put, I put 2 pieces of tear and tape, oopsie, onto each one. So let me just take the release paper off of this one. Just cut all my nails off because we were at the beach and they were kind of getting all messed up with my seashell. Must be my seashell digging.
So we had to wash it.
Brads would be a great idea, Danette. Absolutely. I'm just Brad challenged today.
Brad challenge.
Yeah, I know that cap can be a little bugger. You're right about that.
Why are we talking about brads today?
Brads are something that actually hold things on. Okay, so I'm gonna take this. So again, this is my seam part, and I'm gonna just stick it. Make sure that's folded over, just like that. And like that, and just give it a really good press. I know they're not really specifically even, but so you could use that. You could use your tear and tape if you wanted to. Okay, so what are you going to use? What are we going to put on this card? What did we decide? What are we putting? Because I'm going to get out a little bit of paper so we can decorate, and then I will finally put these all together and we'll decorate them. How about like thank you? How about something sparkly? What about that silver, that shiny silver ribbon? See it in the middle? Middle. See it? The sequins? Nope, you passed it. Yeah, what about that? Bring that over here. And how about... that might be pretty. Bring it over. Let me see. I don't know. Bring it over. Let me see. She's bringing me ribbons that we may very well be not in stock any longer, so I apologize. If they aren't, and they do match though, and we'll do something with them. So let me just put one piece of tear and tape on this. Never go wrong with sparkles. Which one is that? That is really pretty, but that definitely is retired. I can tell you that for sure. She just pulled out the pool party shimmer ribbon, if you guys remember that. Love that one. So pretty.
This one looks like shoelaces.
Shoelaces? That's true. It does. All right, so let me get this off. I want to just stick this on. That way we can decorate it. All right, now move on from the ribbon. That is really pretty. Move on from the ribbon and tell me what you want it to say so I can tell you which stamp set to grab. We could do welcome. That would be really cute because you could do like welcome back to school for a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
If you're doing that. Oh, I put this the wrong way. Pop this off. So I wanted this to go this way. So again, I am just being particular and I put my little cut seam. See if you can see them there on the inside. That way the finished seam with the bend is on the outside. Okay, so now I'm going to put this again. So this seam is going to be facing back. So when you look at it, it looks really well finished because if you look this way, you can see this little bit of a seam. So we have that. So we're going to jazz this up with a little bit of the silver sequins. Hopefully these are still something orderable because my brain is sleeping. So I have a little bit of that and we'll do maybe a little bit of this. Add this to it. Yes.
Is there one that says you're awesome?
You're awesome. Gosh, I don't know. Is there a stamp set that says you're awesome? Probably, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. So let me go take a peek here. You come look at these. And what we're going to do is we're going to look for that real quick sentiment. Nah, that's a Christmas book. Let's see about this. We got thoughtful banners, might have your awesome. Or how about, where's our itty bitties? Itty bitty greetings. We're going to do one of these two. These have some great, all right, I got two to choose from. We have thoughtful banners or itty bitty greetings. You're awesome. Let's see. We don't have a you're awesome in there. So apparently, Stampin' Up! People, we need one that says you're awesome. How about amazing? We could do you're amazing.
Yeah.
Or you're inspiring.
Amazing.
You're amazing? All right, so we got you're amazing. So let me see if I can find that. I have amazing. And let's see if we can find your. You are amazing. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
That's a lot of words.
Yeah, a lot of words. One with the guitar and the running shoe. That's a good one, too. That does say you're awesome. There you go, Vicky. Man, Vicky wins the prize today for being up on what's going on.
She's Stampin' Up! Awesome.
She is awesome, right? Okay, so I'm going to take a little scrap. This is just one of the pile of scraps that I have from all of my white paper that I've trimmed off over time. So what we're going to do is, how about if we do this in a contrasting color, like Tranquil Tide would be pretty. How's that sound? Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do amazing.
Can we do two different colors?
Tranquil Tide. And what's the other color you'd like to use? Grapefruit? Do you think that'd be easy to see? We can try it. Let's see.
Actually,
Just clean this off before
how
we
about
start.
this?
Mint? You can try it. Let's see what it looks like.
We did it the last video.
Okay. We have You Are Amazing. And the cool part is, since these are photopolymer stamps, you can line them up really well. You are amazing. Okay, I don't like the way that's stamped, so let me try it one more time. Let me clean this off. I got my chamois here. It's actually wet. Yeah, so see, since we have plenty of strips here, we can. You are.
I made two. Here's the other one.
Oh, thank you. That's okay. I just need one for now.
I like the.
And
I like to push this down.
I know. I like the purple one. It's a lot thicker. It gets your stamps cleaner.
And it's a lot.
You are amazing. All right, so here we go.
We haven't used this one since the first video.
So that's because we have our Simply Chamois now. We don't have to use that one anymore. So I have You Are Amazing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this. I know it's a little crooked, but that's okay. We're going to just trim this off. We're going to make.
But I like crooked.
You like a little crooked? How about if we make it a little angled? That way it kind of
That's what I was going to ask you.
for the fact that it's a little crooked. And what we'll do is we'll trim this up just a little bit.
Just a little till the end.
Just a little bit on this. And then no one will even know we stamped a crooked. Unless they decide to watch this video. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on with a foam adhesive strip. And we will, let me see that. Let's see. Put that on with this. I might have to trim it up just a little.
You gave me so much Stampin' Up stuff.
So much stuff, I know, right?
You gave me a lot of ribbon.
I know. Well, that's a lot of stuff you can make stuff with too.
I'm
going to take this off of the back. And now this is my other tip in case you missed this a while back when I used this on a video. So if you ever have your foam, and you know when you put your foam down, it sticks where it is. If you take your Tombow liquid glue and you put a little bit of glue onto this, in addition to, it will hold, it kind of gives you the chance to be able to move it around a little bit if you wanted to. Okay,
There's
so,
a sequence right on it.
oh, it's because it fell off. That's okay. So we have our sequin. We're going to put this on, and we have our little piece of ribbon as well. So I'm going to just sit this up here for now, and let's make a couple little, like a little ribbon. And we'll wrap this around. Wrap these two together.
That looks hard to do.
Not really. It's not hard. And what we'll do is I'm going to add these with I thought I had my, there they are, my dimensionals. You could also put these together if you wanted to with mini glue dots. So
this is hard not to go in your hands.
Well, yeah, that glue does go in your hands, but that's okay. It comes off.
It's pretty sticky too.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple mini glue dots just to kind of hold these in place.
Hey.
All right, so I'm going to do one for this in between here. And we might have to trim this up a little bit, so we'll have to see how it looks. So I have one there, and then I'm going to take two more.
Can I help you?
Sure. So you pick this up, put them together just like that, and then lay it right on top there. And sometimes you have to hold it with your thumb because it is sticky. And we'll just kind of wrap this.
This thing is pokey.
It is pokey. Kind of wrap it around really high. And then just do me a favor. Can you grab one more? Grab one. Just kind of slide right under. Stick it on there. Slide under. Okay, and then put one right here on the back. Perfect. And I'm going to wrap this around
This thing is fun.
the back. And you know, I am one person, I will say, that I always have trouble. I always have trouble with the ribbon. I never end up using it with words. Is that what you're going to say? And I have trouble with words. I buy so much ribbon, and I always end up not using it. And I'm going to put a dimensional on the back of this because it's going to kind of be underneath.
I always use it.
Just to give it a little bit more adhesion to this little bag. So, use your ribbon. That's what we need to have. Now, we finally got the use it, chop it with the DSP. Add that on there.
You gotta use ribbon a lot.
You got to use your ribbon. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. So I have my liquid glue, and I'm going to just put this right on top. And again, I'm going to try to make sure I don't smudge it. I'm going to press it on there really hard. And you could probably have put this in a little bit better of a position, but that's okay. It is what it is. I love ribbon too, Janet. I just need a class or some sort of something to make myself use it.
Yeah, you need
All right,
to use
so there
it.
we go. And then you could put your little gift card in there if you wanted to. You could also put like some chocolates in. But the other thing you can do, so if you either have Ready Shreddy, which is great because it's already in the bag.
What is Ready
But if you don't, it's kind of like that shred stuff. You know, the stuff they put in gift packages. You could just take your, like if you have a whole bunch of these little strips, you could take your scissors and cut them up.
Cut 'em.
Just like this. Hold on, see if I can get that last one in there. And then you could kind of crinkle it up. Now, granted, this would be crazy if you had plenty of it. And you could just fill this in. You know, all those little pieces of stuff that you don't ever want to throw away because you don't know what you're going to do with it.
Like the stuff that you put in like an Easter bunny basket?
Exactly, yeah. And then you could fill it up with that and fill that. You could put in some candy for your teacher. You could put in a get out of jail free card. I don't know who she would actually turn that into if she needed to use it. One of her other teacher friends. In case she needed to, you know, like get away from the classroom is what I mean. A get out of jail free card. The teacher needs a timeout card. Maybe that's what we should be calling it.
Timeout.
So you could just use all your little extra stuff and just cut it up. Just like so. Crinkle it.
Yeah.
Okay. And calm down now. You're getting a little out of control. And always out of control. You're not always out of control. And just fill that up with that. So then you have your little gift card holder. But super cute. I mean, again, I do like the folded over edge better. No, and I do like the fact of if you had your crocodile and then you could put these on with your crocodile, it would be so much cuter. But this is only 2 sheets of designer series paper, so if you want to have a little bigger bag, just not folded on the end. If you want to have a smaller bag, you can fold it over.
This big.
You can make it any size you want. That is what she said. She did some with like 12 by 12, or as long as it's square.
Did you have one this big?
As long as it's square, you could do one with 12 by 12. You could do it with 9 by 9. And again, if I'm just going to put these on here.
The gift card.
Why would you be surprised?
Because I've never seen one of these.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just surprised that I could actually make something.
Nah.
So for just temporarily, you could also put these on with mini glue dots, but I think you'd have to use a lot of them because mini glue dots definitely on their own. If you use multiples, you'd probably be okay. Or if you use multiples and maybe some liquid glue, you'd also be okay. But, you know, mini glue dots are not the strongest thing. So you definitely want to use something that's going to be sturdy.
I can't fit this in.
Even just for decorative purposes. But it does fit in, just like this. See?
It's hard.
Just like that.
You have to, like, line it up.
Oh, heavens. Gotta line it up. See that? There we go. So 2 super easy things that you could give to a teacher if you have a child that's going back to school, or if you have a, I don't know, anybody you want to give just a little gift to, and you have a lot of designer series paper laying around. This is certainly a really easy way to petite purse. It probably was a die, I'm sure. I think pretty much, Tina, a lot of ideas that come to fruition are ones where we maybe used to have a die for it and we don't anymore. So definitely very simple to make. You could make it as easy or as complicated.
You can make, like, little strips hanging off, and, like, it's, like,
it was like a fringe purse?
Yeah.
Ah! Look at you. That's funny. Or you could even, if you wanted to, you could take, if you really wanted to jazz up your purse, you could put, like, the sequins or the ribbon around the top. You could definitely decorate this in so many ways and make it whatever it is that you need or whatever it is that you want to be. You could really do something with it. So I will put the blog measurements or the measurements on the blog later today once I get everything calculated a little bit better. Again, if I find a better way to get from 1 centimeter to 1 inch that makes more sense to us, I will certainly put that on there. But I will put photos and everything sometime later today. I appreciate everything, you guys, with the sharing and the love and the hearts and everything. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. As some of you may or may not know, this is going to be my full-time job as of September, so I appreciate all of your support and value all your support. You can find all the supplies used in my online store, rachthestamper.stampinup.net. And I will be back, I believe, next Wednesday. I know, aren't the hearts nice? I'll be back next Wednesday. And a happy face. I'll be back next Wednesday with another live video. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to think about it and see what we want to make, right? But I will be here from now on Wednesdays once school starts, every Wednesday at 9:30. And I plan on doing some additional stuff on YouTube, possibly going live. You'll be in school. That's okay. Maybe some days you'll be off and you can be my guest stamper, right? Stop it, you do not. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and if you missed it, go back and watch the replay. It is always on here on the Facebook page. Thanks for watching, guys.